If you're anything like me, I hate it when teachers give me something and I have no idea how to use it. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 steps to editing digital worksheets and interactive notebooks that have been created in Google Slides. That way you can upload it to Google Classroom or whatever other system you use. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Pursuit of Excellence family. So recently you may have received a digital worksheet or an interactive notebook in Google Slides, and if you haven't, it's coming. With distance learning taking over, more and more teachers are starting to use Google Slides to make their worksheets interactive. So it's highly likely that you're going to get one of these soon. So why not learn how to use it? So let me give you these 3 steps that are going to teach you how to use Google Slides comfortably so that you can get the best out of your education. In just a minute, I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to go through a resource so you can see how to use Google Slides. The resource that we'll be using is a resource that was created by the Pursuit of Excellence. It is 5 tips that is guaranteed to increase your distance learning experience over Zoom or Google Classroom. So if you haven't seen that video yet, these 5 tips will definitely help increase your distance learning experience. I'll link the video right here, and if you want the resource that we're about to go over, I'll link that in the description below. Let's get right into it. All right, so here we are. Here's the resource. 5 tips to improve distance learning. So the first thing that students will do is that they'll watch this video, and then they'll respond in order to reflect and recall what they learned. Now, when I'm looking at this, there's a lot going on. And by the time I get down to the section where it's drag and drop, I can't even read what's in the boxes right there. So step number 1 in order to maximizing your Google Slides interactive sheet experience is to make it visible. All right. So here's the 4 things that we can do to make it visible. First of all, we don't need anything on the right side. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. That way we can center it a little bit. Now, most of us are not going to use the speaker notes, so let's go ahead and drag that out the way. I like to drag it out the way because when you drag it, you can watch it as it increases. So you can drag it out the way, or you could also go to View and deselect Show Speaker Notes. That's going to maximize it for us and get it completely out of the way, as big as it can get it. Then to get a couple more of those millimeters, these rulers, those aren't necessary. Go to View, deselect Show Ruler, get those millimeters. Every millimeter counts when we're trying to maximize this. You can see it's getting bigger and bigger. Next thing we can do is we can hide these menus. You click this up arrow right there and it'll get rid of all the information that we don't necessarily need. Now what I love about this, right, is that even though the menus are gone, what happens now, you can still have a function to search the menus. So one of the things that disappeared was the download. So you can't go to file download when you hide the menus, but if you type in the file that you need, like a PDF, download as a PDF document, boom, it's right there. You don't even need the menu. So I love that they included that feature as soon as we minimize the taskbar. And here's the last thing that you can do. You can see that these over here, they're getting bigger. They're almost in a place where we can read them. The last thing that you want to do is you want to get rid of your tabs and your URL search bar up at the top by full screen. So every computer is a little bit different. On a Chromebook, you're going to look for the full screen button. On a MacBook, you're going to look for Command Control F, hit those at the same time. And on a PC, you're going to look for F11. But when you hit it, what's going to happen is it's going to get rid of everything that's up at the top, and bang, it's going to maximize your screen. So now it's as big as possible and it's editable. And here's a bonus tip. If you want to just make sure that it's as big as possible, look at this zoom function right here and click that drop button. See, notice it's at fit 109%. That's perfect. That's beautiful. Anything over 100% is good, because 200%, that's a little bit too big. That's a little bit ridiculous. But if you do 100%, you know, that's cool too. But what I like is when we can go to fit, and it's whenever it's above 100% at fit, I like to choose that 109%. That's how I know it is as big as it's gonna let me get it. Now I can see these drag and drop functions, and now I can move them all around. I can read what they say so I can put them in the correct spot. I like it. It's awesome. Okay? So that's step number 1. Make it viewable. Now step number 2 has to do with text. Most of the assignments that you're going to be getting are going to require you to type something in. So let's look at step number 2, which is make it readable. We're going to leave this slide. We're going to go back up to tip number 1. Tip number 1 required us to write something in. Now, you may have an awesome teacher that already pre-filled all of your text boxes, which means all you have to do is find them. Let's talk about how to do that. So you can see my cursor right here is just a regular cursor, but I'm looking at to where there's a blank and saying there should be somewhere here for me to write. So what I do is I just hover my mouse over, and you see that? You see that change right there? You see how it changed to the plus sign with the arrows? That tells me that there's an object there and that object can be edited, and most likely is a text box, and we are correct. It is a text box, which means I can write directly in there. And just to give you the answer, tip number 1 was to be prepared. So we can type it directly right there. Now, you may have an awesome teacher that believes so much in your technological ability that they allow you to make text boxes for yourself. If that's the case, here's how you do that. So I'm looking at my 6-word memoir, which is using exactly 6 words to summarize the meaning of the message. And I'm looking at this first blank, and there should be somewhere here for me to type, but I'm moving my cursor and it's not changing, it's just staying the same. So that tells me that there's no text box there and I have to create my own. So the way that you create your own is by looking right here where there's a T inside the box, that stands for text box, clicking on that, and by drawing a box around exactly where you want to write. Once you draw your own text box, you can write directly in there. Let's say that our 6-word memoir is start each day with a routine. Boom, 6 words, just like that. So the first word would be start. So we type start in there. And even though our menus are hidden, we can still edit this text. I like Arial for this, so I'm going to leave it in Arial, but if I wanted to change the font, I could here. But I can definitely change the size and make it as big as I want it to be. I can move the text box around, drag it, place it where I like it, and make the font as large as I want it to be. And we won't do the rest of the words, but remember we said a 6-word memoir, maybe start each day with a routine. Boom, we're ready to go. If you wanted to add your picture, you don't need the menu bar for that either. You can click on this insert image button right here and you can find the image that you want to insert. So step number 2, make it readable. So here we are, last step. Step number 3, make it gradable. The teacher sent this assignment to you for a reason. You're going to work on it and they probably want to receive it back, right? So here's a good thing. If you're using Google Classroom, look at this. All you have to do is go to your Google Classroom tab and click turn in. Boom, that's it. Once you click turn in, that's all you have to do. I love how Google Slides and the whole Google interface is just integrated in that way. Now, if you have to upload it in a different fashion, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download it as a PDF and then send it to your teacher however they request it. The good thing about this is it's super easy. It's just one click. Remember when we minimized this, typically you would go to file and download, but once we minimized the menu bar, it gave us this cool little search the menus function, remember? So here we can go ahead and we can just type in, hey, I need a PDF, and we can click download as PDF, and watch this. Bang, right there. Immediately it just starts downloading for us. That's so cool to me. So once you download it and save it to your computer, then you can go ahead and upload it however the teacher wants to receive it. So that's it. Those are the 3 steps that you need to take in order to edit Google Slides, whether it's a digital worksheet or an interactive notebook or whatever it is. Those are the steps that you have to take. Number 1, make it visible. Number 2, make it readable. Number 3, make it gradable. You do these 3 things and I guarantee you, you'll be set. Okay? So I hope that this helped you. I hope that you can that you learned something new, and I hope that you can now go in there and play around with it and you can make it big and easy to work with and it's more comfortable to use these things. Remember, they're not going anywhere. Matter of fact, you're probably going to be seeing a whole lot of these if you haven't been seeing a whole lot already. So if you have any questions that I didn't address, you want further explanation, drop a comment down below and I'll go ahead and we'll make a video about what it is that you need, because my goal is just to help you out. So I'm glad that you got this. I'm glad that you're ready to go. And remember, if you like the resource that we were going through, or you're curious to figure out what the other 4 tips are to improve your distance learning experience, look at the video that I linked earlier. I'll link it again in the description. And that'll tell you all the 5 tips that you need to know that will guarantee to improve your distance learning experience, whether it's Zoom or Google Meet or whatever it is. So I hope you learned something. I hope it was valuable to you. Remember, excellence is not the exception. It's our expectation. I'll see you next time.